Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Got to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua. The Most High, the Heavenly Father, his Hebrew name is Yahweh. Not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah, not Abba, not Yahuwah. It's Yahweh. And his only begotten son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shah. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua, not Yahusha. It's Yahweh Shah. So got to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rikah, Quadash. The bonus to the apostles and elder bishops and elders of great millstone who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all Israel, whether accepted or not. And a sincere salutation to all the Akim, pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, shedding light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the Akwath who are listening, learning. Ye few sisters who are listening, learning. Coming into another lesson in truth, faith, faith, and edification. Another day of edification, Lord, will be edifying. I'm Isaiah from GMS Orlando Camp. And I titled this lesson, Vocab did a horrible job trying to say the Edomites. So in this video, he's titled it, Who is Edom? And I listened to like 45 minutes of this video. So, listen to the apostles since I've been learning this truth. For Antichrist, this ain't about truth. And as he said, he was paid off to teach against the truth. Because for you to say that the Edomites is done away with. But in Ecclesiastes 4, it said that there is no end of all the people. Now this is the words of the Lord. Ecclesiastes be the wisest words that came from the wisest king. But you will say that the Edomites are done away with. But then you trying to say the Edomites. So he made the point that Job was an Edomite because he was living in the land of Uz. That made Job an Edomite. He go to the Septuagint. But in Job 30 and 30, Job said that his skin was black upon him. And when you go into that word black there in Job 30 and 30, it said the color of skin, right? So why would Job say that his skin was black upon him if he was an Edomite? Now we got, in the world today, you got Israelites that look like Edomites, and you got Edomites that look like Israelites. So is he saying Job was an Edomite because his father was an Edomite? Or was Job an Edomite because his mother was an Edomite? He said Job is an Edomite, but Job said his skin is black. And there's some points I just want to make listening to Vocab. I first titled the lesson, A Weak Mind Will Believe the Garbage that Vocab is teaching. That he's speaking, because he ain't teaching nothing. Okay, he ain't teaching nothing. He's speaking. A weak mind will believe that. I'm sitting here listening to this guy when he mentioned Job, and he go into the Septuagint, just like this guy from Watchman Report. That's slow belly. He go into Job 42. Because Job is living in the land of Uz, that made him an Edomite. Man, Apostle Rumlob did an excellent lesson on this. And these are two precepts that I had never read. Apostle Rumlob did a 10-minute go, because I used to bring out a lot that Mark 3 and 8. Shalom Zakwan Yabba Shema Shah Brakatah. Shalom Chalakma Watunin Yabba Shema Shah Brakatham. I just always bring out that Mark 3 and 8. How I tell you that it was Israelites that followed Yahweh Shah from Idumea, Tyre, and Zidon, right? Different places. Pastor Rumlock did the 10-minute video and went into Jeremiah 4 and 11 and 1 Chronicles 4, verse 42 and 43, which I never read. So I told him on the comment board, I add that to my arsenal. That Jeremiah 40 and 11. But this ain't for Vocab is not teaching the truth. He's teaching. He was paid to do this, man. That's why a weak mind will believe the garbage that he's saying. Because you got to go back to what the Lord said. Now, what would Yahweh say in Malachi 3 and 8? For I, the Lord, change not, therefore you sons of Jacob are not consumed. Because this nigga went to Isaiah 42, is Isaiah 42, Isaiah 45, one of the two, talking about the Edomites going to be saved, man. Okay, Isaiah 42, I think he went into. Trying to save the Edomites and the heathen nations. He talked about they're going to be singing praises to the Lord in the kingdom of heaven. The scripture said, all nations shall bow down to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, man. That don't make them being saved. But anyway, listening to the apostles, elder bishops, and elders, since I've been learning this truth, you can't change what was already written, man. You can add, but you can't change. You can take away, right? You can take away from the scriptures. You can add to the scriptures, but you can't change what was already written. And it's the points that I want to make. Now, he said that Job was an Edomite, right? So who is Job talking to? And he went in Deuteronomy 23, which I'm going to go into that too. Because he read, when you read verse 3, when they say verse 7, thou shalt not abhor an Edomite, for he is thy brother. Thou shalt not abhor an Egyptian, because thou was a stranger in his land. So he used the next verse to say, see, they're going to be in the kingdom. Because verse 8 reads, the children that are begotten of them shall enter into the congregation of the Lord in their third generation. He don't understand what he had read. We don't got to go into this word Edomite here. Is it a clerical error? We don't got to do that. We don't got to do that. So, before I go to this, though, about not to the whore of Edomite, right? He didn't mention verse 3. Why did he mention verse 3? In Deuteronomy 23 and 3, an Ammonite or a Moabite shall not enter to the congregation of the Lord. Even to their 10th generation shall they not enter to the congregation of the Lord forever. So when he read verse 7, he's trying to say the Edomites and the Egyptians. What about Ammon and Moab, the Chinese and Japanese? Which he said the Chinese and Japanese are not the Chinese and Japanese. He's saying that's what One West came up with. Well, who is the Lord talking to right here? An Ammonite or a Moabite shall not enter to the congregation of the Lord. And these are the sons of Lot. Verse 2, Deuteronomy 23 and 2, a bastard shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. And when you look at the word bastard on the blue letter or on Google, they don't give you the real definition, man. I went to Etymology Online, they don't give you the real definition. Why? Because they don't want you to know that a bastard is a non-Israelite. A bastard is a non-Hebrew Israelite, man. If you're not from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you a bastard, man. And that's the other 17 heathen nations. He ain't read this. Why he jumped down to verse 7 and 8? Because he's trying to say the Edomites. But the Edomites done away with, though, he said, according to him. But let's get this. So in Job, just some points I want to make. This guy, man, he don't got nothing, man. In Job 30 and 1, so if Job is an Edomite, why is he speaking this way? But now they that are younger than I have me in derision. Who had Job in derision? Whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flocks. So if Job is an Edomite, is he talking about the Israelites? But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I will have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. Yet whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished. For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness, in former time desolate and waste. Who cut up mallows by the bushes. Oh, the Israelite had to flee into the wilderness, right? When the Lord led them out of Egypt. It said, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper root for their meats. Did the Israelites eat mallows by the bushes and juniper root for their meats in the wilderness? Hell no. So who is Job talking about? They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief, to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Among the bushes they brayed, sounded like horses, donkeys, and mules. Under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yea, children of base men, They were viler than the earth. And now I am their song. Yeah, I am their byword. Right? Who is Job talking to? Who is he talking about right here? So this is an Edomite talking about other Edomites? Nah. In Job 30, he said, my skin is black upon me, and my bones are burnt with heat. So why is Job saying his skin is black? This word black here, H7835. This is like here. This word here, 87835, it say to be black. Strong definition say to be dim or dark in color. Right? Let's play it.
Strong's H, 7835, shacher, shacher.
It said to be dim or dark in color. Right? Now, the scriptures talk about the Lord have enemies, man. And he quoted Psalms 83, right? He mentioned Psalms 83 about the Edomites. He mentioned he was going to a lot how Amaziah and what is that, 2 Chronicles 25 pushed the Edomites over the cliff, and how he worshipped Quaz. Right? He said Quaz was equivalent for the so-called, for the Edomites as Yahweh is to Israelites. And the Lord name ain't Yahweh, ain't no E's in Hebrew, man. But anyway, this ain't for truth's sake, dealing with vocab. So, and that's why I was going to title, A Weak Mind Will Believe the Trash. And I'm sitting here listening to him like, man, this guy really sound like he on point. If you was a weak-minded person. Now, he mentioned that the Lord, that these Edomites in Psalms 83, the Lord got enemies. So, it's crazy for you to say that the Edomites and all the other nations couldn't be saved, but the Lord got enemies, which the Lord mentions here. Now, I was making a point. I want to make a point. So, Basra is the capital, was the capital of Edom, right? As Basra is the capital of Edom, so is Amalek the chief of the Edomites, right? So it mentions the Edomites here in Psalms 83. It mentions Edom, Ishmael, Moab, Ammon, Amalek, Philistines, right? Now, in Deuteronomy, this is Deuteronomy 25 and 17. You have to take all this in consideration, man. The Lord got enemies. Because in Psalms 83, this is what it says. It reads this. Keep not silent, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies. Whose enemies? God's enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee. Who they hate? They hate the Most High Yahweh. And they that hate thee lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. This is talking to the Most High, man. And consulted against thy hidden ones. So how can you say the Most High, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, gonna save everybody when the Lord got enemies? So in Deuteronomy 25, and that's why I said I wasn't going to do this, because honestly, I feel like it's a waste of time for me. I had another lesson I was going to do, which, Lord, what I'm still going to do. It's a waste of time because this is only for the hopeful elect, man. And as we watch the videos that Elder Malcolm, the elder brother Karatazar Bar, uh, Elder Yashawamba, uh, Elder Rakaya Kwam, all these elders, man, right? Elder Ariala, man, Elder Manatazak Bar, you got all these elders, just for days, just the elders in LA, just elders, man, all over. They're constantly going into these lessons, these breakdowns. How the hell can you say that the Lord's going to save everybody? Now, like I was mentioning, right? Edom, the capital of Edom was Basra, just as the same as Amalek is the chief of the Edomites. So, if the chief of the Edomites, the Lord got indignation for, how is the rest of the Edomites going to get salvation? This is Deuteronomy 25 and 17, and reads, remember what Amalek did unto thee by the way when thou wert come forth out of Egypt. Now, also Vocab went into Numbers 20 when Esau wouldn't let us pass through, right? He going into all these points about how it was a controversy between the Edomites and the Israelites, but yet everybody's going to be saved. Deuteronomy 25 and 17, remember what Amalek did unto thee by the way when thou wert come forth out of Egypt, how he met thee by the way and smote the hindermost of thee, even all that were feeble behind thee, when thou was faint and weary, and he feared not God. Now, this is another point I want to make. It said Amalek don't fear the Lord. So how could Job be an Edomite when it tell you that Job feared the Lord, man? So was that exception to the rule of the Edomites, that Job feared the Lord? Let me read this. Let's go to this. Let me read from the phone. This is Job. It don't make no sense, man. This is Job chapter 1. In 1 it reads, there was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, a man that was perfect and upright, and one that feared God and eschewed evil. So hold on. Job feared the Lord. So if Job is an Edomite, is he a different Edomite from Amalek? Could it say Job was the richest of the, he was, what did it say? So that this man was the greatest of all the men of the East. So Job, if Job is an Edomite, then that means he Amalek, right? Because Amalek got the bag, right? We talking about the chief house of Edom. Just as Basra is the capital of Edom, that means Amalek is the chief of the Edomites, right? Because it mentioned in Psalms 83, Edom and Amalek. So if Job was the greatest, it say, so that this man was the greatest of all the men of the East. Job 1 and 3. It said he feared the Lord. So was this talking about Amalek, Edomite? Because right here in Deuteronomy 25 and 18, how he met thee by the way, to my Amalek. Again, Deuteronomy 25 and 17. Remember what Amalek did unto thee by the way when you were come forth out of Egypt. How he met thee by the way and smote the hindermost of thee, even all that were feeble behind thee when thou was faint and weary, and he, Amalek, feared not God. Therefore it shall be, when Yahweh thy God have given thee rest from all thine enemies round about, in the land which the Lord thy power giveth thee for the inheritance to possess it, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven, thou shalt not forget it. So the Lord ain't blotted out the remembrance of Amalek. They still here. So if Job is an Edomite and he said he was the greatest of all men of the East, that means he was of Amalek. That gotta be what this means. So how did Job fear the Lord? And he was an Edomite, but in Deuteronomy 25, it said Amalek don't fear the Lord. That's why they came against us. Huh? Make it make sense, man. Let's get this. Pastor Rumlock brought this out in his lesson. a quick 10-minute lesson with a double-edged sword, man. But see, this ain't about truth with vocab. This ain't about truth. This is about slander, man. It's just about slander. That's why I said I don't even know if I should do this video, because it's a waste of time, man. Because the apostles, elder, bishop, and elder been doing lessons to prove the point that the Edomites are not done away with. That's Ecclesiastes. What is that? Ecclesiastes 4. Let me see here. But yet and still, a person will say, oh, the Edomites done away with. But the Lord say, no, we talking about the wisest king. These are the wisest words from the wisest king ever live on the planet. He was lying. Ecclesiastes 4:16. There is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. They also that come after should not rejoice in him. Why they ain't gonna rejoice that come after? Because they got to pay for what they did. Because everything that the Edomites did, their whole nation got to suffer. This is why Solomon's saying this, man. You got to make this make sense, man. I'm listening to Vocab 45 minutes in on this video, and he just ranting. He ain't making no sense, man. Now he want to make the point talking about the Nephilims was Petra. They pushed the Edomites out. What's your point? The Edomites was there. If they got pushed out, what difference does it make? They was there. They was there, man. What's your point? There is no end. Ecclesiastes 4:16. There is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. And they also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this also is vanity and vexation of spirit. So we talking about the words of the wisest king on earth. He said there is no end of all the people. Somebody lying, man. Somebody lying. We talking about the wisest words from the wisest king on the earth. Somebody lying, man. Because he said there is no end of all the people. Now, the Lord said, remember what Amalek did unto thee. Right? The Lord said, thou shalt blot it out. Thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. Thou shalt not forget it. He said when we go back into the land of Israel, man. When the Israelites go back home, that's when the name of Amalek, the Edomites, is going to be blotted out, man. We ain't home, man. And to show you this is a future prophecy of end time, when you go to 1 Kings 11, let's go to this. I'm gonna go back to the Jeremiah. Now King David had the Edomite. He put a garrison all in Edom, right? This is 1 Kings 11 and verse 11. It reads, 1 Kings 11:14. It reads, the head said, God raises adversaries. And Yahweh stirred up an adversary unto Solomon, Hadad the Edomite. He was the king. He was of the king's seed in Edom. So, hold on. Listen to this. It said in Deuteronomy 25:17. Let's read this again because you need to listen. All you out there that don't know. Deuteronomy 25:17. Remember what Amalek did unto thee, by the way, when ye were come forth out of Egypt. Oh, it said the king's seed. Hadad was of the king's seed. So he's of Amalek then. Gotta be. Right? How he met thee by the way and smote the hindermost of thee, even all that were feeble behind thee when thou was faint and weary, and he feared not God. Therefore it shall be, when Yahweh thy power have given thee rest from all thine enemies round about, in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance, to possess it, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven, thou shalt not forget it. Hold on. The Lord say, when the Lord give thee rest from all thine enemies, did not King David set up Solomon's throne so Solomon had rest for 40 years? Right? Right. So is If this prophecy right here, Deuteronomy 25:19, talking about the time of Solomon, it couldn't be. Because it's saying in 1 Kings 11:14, and Yahweh stirred up an adversary unto Solomon, Hadad the Edomite. He was of the king's seed in Edom. The king's seed. Who is the kings of Edom? It's Amalek, man. That's a future prophecy, man. When the Israelites go home, when Yahweh shall return, man. Now, it say, for it came to pass when David was in Edom, and Joab, the captain of the host, was gone up to bury the slain after he had smitten every male in Edom. It say, for 6 months did Joab remain there with all Israel until he had cut off every male in Edom. He cut off every male, right? Right? Vocab. That Hadad fled. He and certain Edomites of his father's servants with him to go into Egypt, Hadad being yet a little child. We read Ecclesiastes 4:16, there's no end of all the people. The Lord said he would not do away with Edom, the Edomites, the so-called white man, until the Israelites go home, man. That's the Obadiah 1:18. Then he want to try to use, he want to try to go to, with King Agrippa and Paul. And Paul was using guile, man. Paul is a Benjamite. And he was, what's this called? Surplanting, man. Yikewad, man. He was surplanting. That's what we do. You probably can't understand it. Of course you can't. Because as it say in Daniel 12:10, that the wicked will not understand. So my point is this. If the Lord got enemies, and the Lord said that, oh, let's get this. What's that? Exodus 17. Exodus 17 and 16. Let's read this. This is verse 14, right? Matter of fact, this is verse 13. It reads, and Joshua discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. And the Lord said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua, for I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. Verse 16, for he said, because the Lord hath sworn that Yahweh will have war with Amalek from generation to generation, man. Come on, man. What are we talking about? The Lord going to have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Now, hold on. Now, it just said, in 1 Kings 11 that David smote every male in Edom. So if he smote every male, let's go back to this. This is beautiful, man. So the Lord going to have war with Amalek from generation to generation, right? I'm going to make some points. Let's go back to 1 Kings. Now the Lord just said he's going to have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Well, from Moses to Joshua, right? Let's read this again. 1 Kings 11:14. And Yahweh stirred up an adversary unto Solomon, Hadad the Edomite. He was of the king's seed in Edom. Now, King David had Edom in garrisons. He had Edom on lock. What happened? The Lord stirred him up to have war with Amalek from generation to generation, man. You peoples don't read, man. For it came to pass when David was in Edom, and Joab, the captain of hosts, was gone up to bury the slain after he had smitten every male, Lord, every male in Edom. So they all gone, right? They all dead. They gone. Ain't no more Edomites. Then the Lord will be a liar when he said he's going to have war with Amalek from generation to generation. In Exodus 17, you people don't read. It said, for 6 months did Joab remain there with all Israel until he had cut off every male in Edom. That Hadad fled. This sounds like it's contradicted. Because it said that King David and Joab killed all the Edomites, all the males. Huh? That Hadad fled, he and certain Edomites of his father's servant with him to go into Egypt, Hadad being yet a little child. You peoples is stupid, man. That's what I'm saying. Listen to Vocab like, if it was a weak-minded nigga, they'll believe this guy, man. Now, the Lord said gonna have war with Amalek from generation to generation, right? So, from right here, from Joshua, in Exodus 17, it said that Joshua discomfort Amalek. Let's go back to this. I'm showing you the different generations, man. You people don't read, man. Exodus 17 and 13, and Joshua discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. Put them to flight, right? So then you got Joshua. Then you got Amaziah, which Vocab mentioned in his video. Let's get this. 2 Chronicles. See, it makes sense to a weak-minded person what this man was saying, but it don't make sense. And we know they don't understand, so we can't get mad at nobody, man. It's all Yahweh Shema Shah. 2 Chronicles 25 and 14. Here's another generation. The Lord is still warring with Amalek. Yep. And just like the head brother, the Captain Hall, you just put in our chat, it's a good night to be an Israelite, man. Hey, call out Yahweh Shema Shah, man. It's a good night to be an Israelite, man. Now it came to pass after the Amaziah was coming from the slaughter of the Edomites. It's a slaughter of the Edomites. It's like he killed all of them, right? That he brought the gods of children of Seir and set them up to be his gods and bowed down himself before them and burned incense unto them. Now, say he came from the slaughter of the Edomites. Didn't the Lord say he gonna have war with Amalek from generation to generation, man? So that's showing you the Lord has not done away with the Edomites, man. And the brother with his spiritual temple, he was on Vocab comment board, and he said something to Vocab. Vocab talking about you need to get you some new teachers or something, he was saying. Because the brother said, how the Edomites done away with if Yahweh shall gonna return to the earth ruling by the Edomites? Vocab said that ain't in the scriptures. They ain't nowhere in the Bible. Yes, it is. Revelation. Revelation chapter 1 and 7. Yes, it is, Vocab. It is in the Bible. This Revelation 1 and 7, and it reads, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him. Who pierced the Lord, Vocab? Don't worry, we'll wait. Who pierced the Lord, Vocab? Behold, Revelation 1 and 7, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Why is the kindreds of the earth going to wail? If all the kindreds, they love to read Revelation 7, right? When they say all kindred nations and tongues, right, can get salvation. Why is it saying all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him? Why are they going to wail, Vocab? If everybody's going to be saved, why is these people, it say and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him? Why is it going to be wailing? Is everybody going to get salvation when Jesus Christos pull up, man? Huh? Don't worry, I'll wait. And who is this? It said, they also which pierced him, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him. Who pierced the Lord? Was it a so-called Negro? Was it one of the Jews that pierced the Lord, Vocab Malone? Huh? Don't worry, we'll wait. Who pierced the Lord? Hold on, let's get one more. Matthew 22 and 14. It is in the scriptures, Vocab. Who pierced the Lord? This is Matthew 22 and 15. It reads, Then went the Pharisees and took counsel how they might entangle him in his talk. And they sent out unto him their disciples with the Herodians, saying, Master, we know that thou art true, and teachest the way of God in truth, neither carest thou for any man, for thou regardest not the persons of men. Tell us therefore, what thinkest thou? Is it lawful to give tribute unto Caesar or not? But Yahushua perceived their wickedness and said, Why tempt ye me, ye hypocrites? Show me the tribute money. Hold on. The Lord said, show me the tribute money. Hold on. Now the Lord again said, show him the tribute money, right? This is what Yahushua said. Matthew 22:19. Yahushua said, show me the tribute money. And they brought unto him a penny. And he said unto them, who is this image and superscription? They said unto him, Caesar's. Then said he unto them, render therefore unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and unto God the things that are God's. This is a quarter. Whose face on it? Allegedly George Washington. Here is a dime. Whose face on this? On this dime. Who is this? Who is this on the dime? An Edomite. Hold on. I thought I grabbed a nickel. Hold on. Let me grab a nickel. Let's grab a nickel and a penny. Which the penny at that time was a dime. It wasn't a penny. Who is this on this penny? Huh? A Caesar? It's a Caesar. Who is this on this penny? On this dime? A Caesar. Who is this on this quarter? A Caesar. Here is a penny in our time. Who's on this penny? The Emancipation Proclamation signer, Abraham Stankin Lincoln. It's in the scriptures, vocab. When the Lord return, he's going to return to those that's in rulership, man. Who's controlling the earth? You trying to do away with the so-called white man. And the Edomites, Amalek, the chief of the Edomites, is still in power, man. What are you talking about? Now, the wisest king on the planet Earth ever said, there is no end of all the people. If there is end of all the people, how is the Lord going to have war with Amalek in Exodus 17:16 forever? He said he's going to have war with Amalek from generation to generation. It's going to continue until when it said in Deuteronomy 25, until the Israelites is back in the land, man. You lying, bro. You was a liar, man. And you know what they say? You know what the saying is? When a debate is lost, slander becomes the tool of the person that lost the debate, man. You was a loser, vocab. You are slandering the truth for filthy lucre. What Arthur said on our King of Queens, it's all about the filthy lucre. You're a slanderer, man. Thus saith the Lord. The Lord said when he returned, every eye shall see him, even those that pierced him, man. Who pierced the Lord? Edomites. So-called white people pierced the Lord, man. Now, I used to read this precept a lot because it tell you in Mark 3 and 8. Just read it. And he read this and say, see, that's talking about Edomites followed Messiah. Mark 3 and 8. Let's read verse 7. It reads, but Yahushua withdrew himself with his disciples to the sea, and a great multitude from Galilee followed him. And man, when I say Apostle Rumblog cut vocab to shreds in 10 minutes, I mean, the apostles been doing this. The other bishops and the elders and brothers been doing this, man. But when I say Apostle Rumlob cut this slow belly to shreds with a 10-minute video, which two of the precepts I never read. Mark 3 and 7. Man, call out Yahweh Shema Shah, 5 spiritual fathers, man. That's why I tell you in 1 Corinthians 4 and 15, this is what it reads. Though you have 10,000 instructors. Let me read this before I get this mark, man. This is important, man. 1 Corinthians. See, this is why the Lord gave us spiritual fathers and spiritual uncles, man. We have hundreds of spiritual uncles, and we have 4 spiritual fathers. We have 4 spiritual fathers, man. This is 1 Corinthians 4 and 15. And brothers all in the chat. For though ye have 10,000 instructors in Christ, though you have 10,000 instructors in Christ, there's a lot of guys calling on Jesus Christ, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Yahshua Yeshua, what's this nigga name is, Recall from GOCC, Haya and Yeshaya, right? Though you have 10,000 instructors in Christ, yet have ye not many fathers. For in Mashiach Yahweh Shai, I have begotten you through the gospel. We got 4 fathers, man. 4 spiritual fathers, man. Apostle Ha, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Rakah, and Apostle Ramlah, in that order. And we got spiritual uncles, man. Elder bishops and elders, man. GMS. Though you have 10,000 instructors in Mashiach, yet have you not many fathers, man. And yet you still cannot compare. There is nobody. We talking about the true teachers of the Hebrew Israelites on the planet Earth, man. And niggas is scoffing against our spiritual fathers and uncles every day, man. But it's okay. Let's go back to this. Oh, that's why I say, right? So you got the affiliates that's following the apostles, that's following the sound doctrine of Yahweh Shema Shai. Let's say that, because it's only one gospel, right? And the apostles are teaching the gospel of Yahweh Shema Shai. Also, there's a precept to go to that, because it say, though you have 10,000 instructors in Mashiach, yet have you not many fathers, right? In Ecclesiastes 6, it reads this. Listen to this. Ecclesiastes 6. Where is it here? It say, Ecclesiastes 6 and 6. Ecclesiasticus, chapter 6, verse 6. Be in peace with many, nevertheless, have but one counselor out of 1,000. So it said in 1 Corinthians 4 and 15, though you have 10,000 instructors in Mashiach, yet have you not many fathers, right? So it's a lot of, out of these 10,000s, it say have but one out of 1,000 right here. Ecclesiasticus 6 and 6. Be in peace with many, nevertheless have but one counselor of 1,000. What is it talking about? You got GMS, GOCC, IUIC, ISUPK, WFI, Believers of the Way, True Nation, all these. But one counselor is GMS, man. That's the counselor, man. Be in peace with many, nevertheless have but one counselor of 1,000. One counselor, man. One. Be in peace with many, nevertheless have but one counselor of 1,000. Listen to this. Here's another fire precept. Psalms. This is Psalms. Let me find it here. This is Psalms 92 and 12. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. Listen, those that be planted in the house of the Lord, Yahweh, shall flourish in the courts of our power. Listen, verse 14. They shall still bring forth fruit in old age. They shall be fat and flourishing. That's our apostles, man. That's our elder bishops and elders, man. They shall still bring forth fruit in old age. They shall be fat and flourishing, to show that Yahweh is upright. He is my rock, and there is no unrighteousness in him. Hey, in Psalms 50, right? In Psalms 50 was that 23. The Lord said, let me read this, man. You guys is through out there, man. You don't know nothing, man. Psalms 50 and 23. Whoso offers praise, glorify me. To him that ordereth his conversation aright, will I show the salvation of God. And when you go to Psalms 37, the Lord said, it just said, whoso ordered their conversation aright. Well, guess what the elites is doing? Psalm 37 and 14, the wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to do what? To cast down the poor and needy and to slay such as be of upright conversation. Vocab no class Malone was paid to come against those that have upright conversation. Mark 3 and 7. But Yahushua withdrew himself with his disciples to the sea, and a great multitude from Galilee followed him, and from Judea. Now, the point I love to make, Paul said in Galatians 1 that he was not taught by man, neither received of man, right? Let me read this. Let me get this, and I'm going to come back to this more. I got two more precepts. In Galatians, and this will always make the point, and the Lord said it in Isaiah 9, these people are hypocrites and evildoers, man. These people are antichrist, man. They are against the truth. Vocab and these guys that's coming, because the scriptures say what it say, man. Again, the Lord said, don't add or take away. You can add to the scriptures. You can take away from the scriptures. But it does not change what the scriptures already say, man. This is Galatians 1 in verse 11. But I certify you, brethren, that the gospel which was preached of me is not after man. For I neither received it of man, neither was I taught it, but by the revelation of Jesus Christ. So if the Lord taught Paul personally, this is what Paul just said. Let's get this. 1 Corinthians 11 and 1. Paul said Yahushua taught him personally, man. Personally. He didn't get it by man. So he said right here in 1 Corinthians 11 and 1, be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ. Right? So Paul said be ye followers of me, even as I also am Christ. Right? He's following Yahushua. So the Messiah said this to the disciples. You people changing up what the Lord said. So you saying that Paul did something different than what the Messiah told the disciples to do. Matthew 10 and 5. These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles. Go not into the way of the Gentiles. And into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So you saying Paul did something different than what the Lord told his disciples to do. That's what you people out there is saying, man. Matthew 15 and 24. You saying Paul did something different, man. That's exactly what you people say. Matthew 15 and 24. But he answered them and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. In Luke 19 and 10, he reads this. The point I'm making is, it was on the Israelites, man. This is Luke 19 and 10. For the Son of Man is come to seek and to save that which was lost. What? For the Son of Man, Luke 19 and 10, for the Son of Man is come to seek and to save that which was lost. Let's go back to this mark. So that was lost sheep. Let's go back to this mark. that followed Yahushua, man. From Idumea, from Zidon. This is Mark chapter 3, 7. But Yahushua withdrew himself with his disciples to the sea, and a great multitude from Galilee followed him, and from Judea, and from Jerusalem, and from Idumea, and from beyond Jordan. And they about Tyre and Zidon, a great multitude, when they had heard what great things he did, came unto him. Why is his people following Yahushua? From Jerusalem, Idumea, beyond Jordan, and they about Tyre and Zidon. Because Deuteronomy 28 and 64 say, the Lord scattered Israel among all people. That's why I say in Amos, Amos 9 and 9, you can add to the scriptures and you can take away, but you can't change the words of the Lord. Sorry, not sorry. Amos 9 and 9, for lo, I will command and I will sift. Who, Lord? The house of Israel among all nations. Like as corn is sifted in a sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. The elect gonna be saved and 2/3 gonna die. For I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve. The Lord said he came to save and seek that which was lost, which is what? The lost sheep of the house of Israel. You can add to the scriptures and you can take away from the scriptures, but you can't change what was already written. Sorry. Matthew 25 and 31. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him shall be gathered all nations. And before him, the Messiah, Yahushua, shall be gathered all nations, and he shall what? Separate them one from another, as a shepherd divided his sheep from the goats. Why is the Messiah going to gather all nations and then separate them? Why? Because in Deuteronomy 32, what did his father do? Don't worry, we'll wait. What did his father do? Deuteronomy 32 and 8. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance. When he separated the sons of Adam. What? The Lord separated the nations? Thus said the Lord. When the Most High, Deuteronomy 32 and 8. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance. When he separated the sons of Adam. He set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel, which is the sons of Israel. For Yahweh's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. So the Most High, it said, when the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam. So why is the Messiah going to separate all nations when he returned? Because his father did it in the beginning. Matthew 25 and 32. And before him shall be gathered all nations. And he, that's what it said in Deuteronomy 32, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divided his sheep from the goats. And what are you going to say? And he shall set the sheep. Who? The sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. What are you going to say to them on the left? Right, sure, they can be saved. Then he say also, verse 41, unto them on the left hand, depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepare for the devil and his angels. So I thought all nations going to be saved. Now it said right here in Matthew 25 and 32 that the Messiah is going to gather all nations and he's going to separate them and set the sheep on the right and the goats on the left. And then he's going to say to those that's on the left, depart from me, ye cursed. But they nations. Why would the Lord do that if everybody going to get saved, Vocab? See, this ain't about truth. This is about slander. This ain't about the truth, man, with Vocab. and and anybody else. Now, as Apostle Rumlock brought out that Mark 3, which I bring it out a lot. He brought this out, which is fire, cold, cut. This is cold. This is Jeremiah 40 and 11. And I never read this until today. Now this reads, likewise, when all the Jews that were in Moab and among the Ammonites and in Edom and that were in all the countries. Why all the countries, vocab? Because of Deuteronomy 28 and 64, man. Likewise, Jeremiah 4 and 11. When all the Jews, it's talking about Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. You go back to Ezra chapter 1 and 5 and read that. I bring that out a lot too. I was listening to Elder Joshua the other day. He brought that out too in the lesson he did. I think it was yesterday. But I bring that out a lot, man, because it shows you that these three tribes that was under the Babylonians was Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Negroes, Jamaicans, and Haitians, man, for layman's terms. Likewise, Jeremiah 4 and 11. Likewise, when all the Jews that were in Moab and among the Ammonites and in Edom, from Idumea, Edom, Basra, Uz. It was in Uz. Job was living in Uz, vocab. Likewise, man, when I see Apostle Rumlock cut anybody out there with a 10-minute video, man, cut down to the bone gristle, man, that Hebrews 4 and 12. Likewise, when all the Jews that were in Moab and among the Ammonites, let me plug my phone up. Oh, no, it should be good. Likewise, when all the Jews that were in Moab and among the Ammonites and in Edom and that were in all the countries heard that the king of Babylon had left a remnant of Judah and that he had set over them was it Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, the son of Saphar. See, there was another he brought out. Was that First Chronicles? I gotta get this one. Man. See, this ain't about truth with these heathens, man. This is about slander, man. It's a slander campaign because the Edomites are still here, man. The Lord said he's gonna have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Now, if you don't believe that, that means you're an antichrist, man. And that's all it is. So they say, First Chronicles 4 and 42. And some of them, even the sons of Simeon, right? Who is Simeon? That'd be the Dominicans. And some of them, even of the sons of Simeon, 500 men, went to Mount Seir, having for their captains Palladiah and Neariah and Raphaeliah and Uzziah, the sons of Ishi, and they smote the rest of the Amalekites that were escaped and dwelt there unto this day. These is Jeremiah 4 and 11. And this First Chronicles 4, 42 and 43. Apostle Rumlock brought on this lesson, man. That shows you we everywhere, man. And the wisest words on the planet from the wisest king in Ecclesiastes 4 and 16, he said there is no end of all the people. And this is why Vocab and all these other people is caught up in a rapture, man. They caught up in a rapture because the scriptures say what they say. Again, you can add to the scriptures. You can take away from the scriptures, but you can't change what's in the scriptures, man. Ecclesiastes 4 and 16, there is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. They also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this is also vanity and vexation of spirit. So the Lord said he was going to have war with Amalek from generation to generation until the Israelites go back home, which is the closing precept. Deuteronomy. Show you how this Deuteronomy 30 links right with Exodus 17 and 16 in Deuteronomy 25, 17 through 19. Let's get this. Bear with me here. Because the Lord said in Deuteronomy 25, 17 through 19, when we go back to the land of Israel, then the Lord going to blot out the Edomites. That's the Obadiah 1 and 18. This is Deuteronomy 30 and 1. And it's titled, the heading say, Restoration Promised. So way back in Deuteronomy, this was already promised that the Lord was going to scatter us. He was going to give us the blessing and the curse and then bring us back home. Listen to this. Deuteronomy 30 and 1. And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee. What, Lord? The blessing and the curse. The blessing and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations. Because we was going to be looked at as a reproach, mocking, right? We was going to be called porch monkeys, wetbacks, savages, right? Jigaboos, Negroes, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, right? Porch monkeys, jigaboos, wetbacks, savages, all these proverbs and bywords. Again, and it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse. Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14 was the blessings. 15 through 68, the curses. The blessing and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations. The Lord said, in Deuteronomy 28, 65 on down, we going to have no ease. Oh, why did the Lord say in Deuteronomy 28 and 48 that you got to go to your enemy? He ain't say you got to go to your brother, right? He ain't say you got to go to Esau, your brother, for the one of all things. He said you got to go to your enemies, your enemy, for the one of all things. He said in food, hunger, and thirst, right? He said, hunger, thirst, and nakedness, and the one of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck till he had destroyed you. That's only one nation of people that put yokes of iron on another nation of people, man. Huh? Don't worry, we'll wait. Why is that in the Bible, vocab? Why did the Lord say you want to your enemy, and he gonna put a yoke of iron on your neck? So they say, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whether the Lord thy God have driven thee, and shall return unto the Lord thy God, and shall obey his voice, according to all that I command thee this day. Thou and thy children, with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity, turn meaning come back, and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from where, Lord? From all the nations, whether the Lord thy God have scattered thee. See, they ain't going to read this. This Deuteronomy 30. They ain't going to read this. It doesn't benefit him to bring this out. It doesn't benefit Vocab and nobody else to bring this out, that in Deuteronomy 30, the Lord said he was going to scatter us, put the curses on us, the blessings and the curses, scatter us, and then bring us back home after his compassion is restored, man. You slow bellies. It say, then that the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations, whether the Lord thy God have scattered thee. Verse 4. If any of thine be driven out, well, Lord, unto the outmost parts of heaven, the earth, from thence will the Lord thy God gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. That's that Matthew 24 and 31. The Lord gonna send his angels to gather his elect from the four winds. And the Lord, verse 5, and the Lord thy God will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, which was the land of Canaan. And thou shalt possess it, and he will do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers. And the Lord, Yahweh thy power, will circumcise thine heart and the heart of thy seed to love the Lord, Yahweh thy power, with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live. And then It said what? And the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which what? Which what, Lord? Which persecuted thee. That's it. Come on, man. Come on, man. The Lord gonna have war with Amalek from generation to generation, man. The Edomites will be here until we go back into the land. And when we go back home, it's gonna be 1,000 years of hardcore slavery, boy. So get ready to put them chains on. You might want to go to Home Depot or Lowe's and get you a chain and get you a lock and write on it brothers' names, because you finna be servants. Sorry, not sorry. Lord is edifying. Gotta give all praises, honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rikah Korash. Double honors to the apostles and elder bishops and elders, great millstone, rule well, teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. And a sincere salutation to all the occupant pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, shed light to the whole elect. Shalom to the Aqua who are listening, learning. Ye few sisters who are listening throughout tuning in. May Yahweh Shema Shah continue to bless you in your houses. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. Hey, the while for tuning in, for your precepts and some of the coming board. Till next time I say Shalom. Wa Ubab Abal. Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Shalak Rayam, Wa Nashim, Wa Abadyam, Wa Haragyam, Wa Mashapayam, Al Kaw Adawamium, Wa Gawaryam, Wa Ayabyamna, Wa Bakashah, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah, the water Aman. Shalom.